So our progress report says we are at stage 3, paragraph page 188. And our last headword was nearly newer type of lesson. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's start
Okay.
with revision. Ready?
Okay.
Here we go. On which side of your body is your heart? On which side of your body is your heart? My heart is
My
on
heart
the left side
side
of my body.
body.
Right? What's the difference between the words quick and quickly? What's the difference between the words quick and quickly? The difference between the words
Green
quick and
was
quickly
quickly.
is that quick is an
That
adjective,
adjective
whereas quickly
was
is an adverb.
quickly adverb.
Very good. Give me an example of the difference. Give me an example of the difference, please. He is a quick writer.
It
He writes
writes
quickly.
quickly.
Very good. Do you speak English quickly? Do you speak English quickly? No, I don't speak
No,
English quickly,
don't speak
but I speak
quickly.
it quickly enough.
Speak it quickly enough.
Do people generally walk slowly when the weather is cold? Do people generally walk slowly when the weather is cold? No, people don't
No,
generally
you
walk
don't
slowly
know you
when the
slowly.
weather is cold.
What is
They
cold?
walk quickly.
Quickly.
Can you text as quickly as you can speak? Can you text as quickly as you can speak? No, I can't text
No,
as quickly as I can speak.
quickly. I
I
speak
text more slowly than I speak.
slowly. I speak.
Very good. What's the opposite of deep? What's the opposite of deep? The opposite of deep
Opposite
is shallow.
deep. Shallow.
Is the river Thames deeper than the Mediterranean Sea? Is the river Thames deeper than the Mediterranean Sea? No, the river
No,
Thames isn't deeper
names
than the
deeper.
Mediterranean
Mm,
Sea.
Mediterranean Sea.
Very good. It's shallower than the Mediterranean Sea.
Mediterranean Sea.
Do people study subjects deeply at university? Do people study subjects deeply at university? Yes, people study
Yes,
subjects deeply at
subject.
university.
With university.
Very good. Do you smoke? Do you smoke? Yes or no?
No,
I don't smoke.
I don't.
Which person in your family smokes the most? Which person in your family smokes the most? Nobody.
Nobody.
In my family smokes.
Family smokes.
Very good. When people smoke, where do they put the ash? When people smoke, where do they put the ash? When people smoke, they put the ash in an ashtray.
Ash. Ashtray.
Right? If you arrive too early at the station, what must you do? If you arrive too early at the station, what must you do? If I arrive too early
Arrive
at the station,
early.
I must wait
Station.
for the train.
Must wait for the train.
Do you like waiting? Do you like waiting? No, I don't like
No,
waiting. I
waiting.
dislike waiting.
Waiting.
If you arrive here at the school 10 minutes too early, how long must you wait for the lesson to begin? If you arrive here at the school 10 minutes too early, how long must you wait for the lesson to begin? If I arrive here at the school
Here.
10 minutes
School.
too early,
It's
I must wait
early.
10 minutes
Wait.
for the
10
lesson to
minutes.
begin.
Okay.
Is it pleasant to wait for somebody in the rain? Is it pleasant to wait for somebody in the rain? No, it isn't
No.
pleasant to
It
wait
is
for somebody
to wait
in the rain.
somebody
It's
in the
unpleasant.
rain. Yes.
What's the difference between the words ever and never? What's the difference between the words ever and never? The difference between the words ever
Mean
and never
was
is that
ever,
the word ever is positive
not ever
and is
positive.
generally used in questions and is generally used in questions,
Generally used
whilst the
in
word
questions.
never is negative.
Whilst
The word
the
never
words never
is negative.
is negative.
Very good. Does it snow in the south of Italy in summer? Does it ever snow in the south of Italy in summer? No, it never
No,
snows in the south
snows
of Italy in
south
summer.
Italy in summer.
Do you ever come here on Sunday? Do you ever come here on Sunday? Let's say, no, I never come
No.
here on Sunday.
Here. Sunday.
Does the sun ever shine during the night? Does the sun ever shine during the night? No, the sun
No.
never
The
shines
sun
during the night.
shines in the night.
Is Christmas ever on the 21st of December? Is Christmas ever on the 21st of December? No, Christmas
No.
is never
Christmas.
on the 21st
Never.
of December. It's
December.
always on the 25th
Oh,
of December.
25th December.
Very good. Okay, next. Oh, here we go. What's this? What's this? It's a square.
Square.
What's this? What's this? It's a circle. Okay, so is the face of my watch square? Is the face of my watch square? No, the face
No.
of your watch
The face.
isn't
Your
square.
watch.
It's round.
Square. Round.
Very good. How many pictures are there round these walls? How many pictures are there round these walls? There are two pictures
Yeah.
round those walls.
Here's
R-
those walls.
round those walls. Very good. Okay.
Round those walls.
Does she walk round the classroom during the lesson? Does she walk round the classroom during the lesson? No, she doesn't walk
Oh,
round the classroom
walk.
during the lesson.
Round
She
the
sits
lesson.
on her chair.
This chair.
Very good. Okay, next. What am I doing? What am I doing? You're shaking your pen.
Shake pen.
Do you always shake hands with your friends every time you see them? Do you always shake hands with your friends every time you see them? No, I don't always
No.
shake hands
Always
with my
shake
friends
hands.
every time I see
Friends.
them.
See them.
Very good. What am I doing? What am I doing? You're nodding your head.
Your head.
Do we nod our heads when we say no? Do we nod our heads when we say no? No, we don't nod
No.
our
Not
heads
now.
when we
Our
say no.
heads. No.
We shake
No.
our heads when we say no.
Heads. We say no.
Very good. What do we call this direct method we are using for learning English? What do we call this direct method we are using for learning English? We call this direct
Called
method we are using
Max
for
use
learning English, the Callan
English
method.
method.
Very good. By this method, the students translate before speaking. By this method, the students translate before speaking? No. By this method,
No
students
method.
don't translate
Students
before speaking.
translate before
They think
speaking
and speak directly
and speak
in the new language.
directly in a new language.
Wait, is it more or less time to go to bed? Is it more or less time to go to bed? Yes or no?
No,
It isn't more or less
isn't
time to go to bed.
time bed.
Very good. Are the countries of Europe more or less friends today? Are the countries of Europe more or less friends today? Yes, the countries
Yes,
of
the
Europe
country
are more or
Europe
less friends
more or
today.
less today.
Very good. What kind of accent do you speak English with? What kind of accent do you speak English with? I speak English with a Japanese
English,
accent.
the Japanese accent,
Where's the accent in the word excellent? Where's the accent in the word excellent? The accent in the word
accent,
excellent
the word
is on the
excellent,
first syllable.
syllable.
Very good. Do children depend on their parents for money? Do children depend on their parents for money? Yes, children depend
Yes,
on their
depend
parents for money.
word on money.
Some people eat in expensive restaurants, others eat in cheap restaurants. What does this depend on? Some people eat in expensive restaurants, others eat in cheap restaurants. What does this depend on? It depends on how much
Depends
money they have.
which money they have.
Very good. During the day, it's light, whilst during the night, it's dark. What does this depend on? During the day, it's light, whilst during the night, it's dark. What does this depend on? It depends on the sun
Depends on
and
the
where
sun,
it is in the sky.
the sky.
Very good. Are there any clouds in the sky today? Are there any clouds in the sky today? Yes or no?
Yes,
There are some clouds in the sky
clouds.
today.
Okay.
What are clouds made of? What are clouds made of? Clouds are made of
Clouds
water.
made of water.
Do you always remember everything you learn? Do you always remember everything you learn? No, I don't
No.
always remember
Always
everything I
remember.
learn. Some
How
things
long?
I remember,
Some
and
remember.
some things I forget.
We forget.
Like, do you remember when to use capital letters in English? Do you remember when to use capital letters in English? Yes or no?
Yes.
I remember when to use
Remember.
capital
And to
letters in
use
English.
English.
Tell me please. We use capital
We
letters
use
at the beginning
capital
of a
letters.
sentence for the pronoun I
I
and for the first letter of people's
for
names,
name.
place names, days of the week, months of the year. Okay? Hello?
Yeah,
Okay?
uh,
Continue. One more. We
okay.
use capital letters
We use
at the
capital
beginning of a
letters
sentence
at the beginning
for the
of
pronoun
sentence.
I and for the
I
first letter of
first
people's
letter
names,
first
place
names.
names, days
Place
of the
names.
week,
Days of the
months
week.
of the year, nationalities,
Years.
and languages.
Nationality and languages.
Very good. Do you remember the name of this thing? Do you remember the name of this thing? Yes, I remember the
Yes.
name of that thing.
Names.
It's a
Name.
pen.
It's a pen.
Do you ever forget to answer emails? Do you ever forget to answer emails? Yes, I sometimes
Yes.
forget to answer
Forget.
emails.
Email.
Do you ever forget the names or faces of people you know? Do you ever forget the names or faces of people you know? Yes, I sometimes
Yes.
forget
Some
the names
forget
or faces
names.
of people I know.
Faces. I know.
Very good. Are we nearly at the end of the lesson? Are we nearly at the end of the lesson? Yes or no?
No.
We aren't nearly at the end of the
Really.
lesson.
And lesson.
Are we nearly in winter? Are we nearly in winter? Yes or no?
Yes.
We're nearly in winter.
No.
Very good.
Winter.
Is it nearly time to go to bed? Is it nearly time to go to bed? Yes or no?
No.
It isn't nearly
It,
time to go to bed. Very good. Are you nearly always the last person to get up in your family? Are you nearly always the last person to get up in your family? Yes or no?
no.
I'm not nearly always
Not
the last person
always.
to get
The
up in my
lesson.
family.
You get a family.
My who my
My daughter
is nearly always the last person
always.
to get
The
up in my
lesson.
family.
You get family.
Very good. Okay, and that's the end of our revision. Let's have new word. Very good. Okay, let's start. Okay, repeat. Wasn't,
Was
weren't.
weren't.
Very good. Okay, listen. The negative of I was is I was not. The contraction is I wasn't. Whilst the negative of you were is you were not. The contraction is you weren't. Okay, let's practice. What's the negative of I was? What's the negative of I was? The negative of I was is I wasn't.
Is
What's the negative of you were? What's the negative of you were? The negative of you were is you weren't.
is
Was I at this school 50 years ago? Was I at this school 50 years ago? No, you weren't
no.
at this
You
school
weren't
50
at
years
school.
ago.
No.
Were you here 100 years ago? Were you here 100 years ago? No, I wasn't
No.
here 100 years ago. Very good. Was she in a different classroom last lesson? Was she in a different classroom last lesson? No, she wasn't
No.
in a different
Wasn't.
classroom last lesson.
Wrote lesson.
Were we in this world 90 years ago? Were we in this world 90 years ago? No, we weren't
No.
in this world
You weren't
90 years
this
ago.
world ago.
Very good. Were they outside the classroom during the last lesson? Were they outside the classroom during the last lesson? No, they weren't
No.
outside the
You weren't
classroom.
Side.
During the last
Possible.
lesson, they were inside.
Lesson. Inside.
Very good. Okay, next repeat. Field.
Field.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word field is a noun. It is a piece of land without trees or buildings, so like full of land that we use for planting or playing sports. For example, we have a rice field or a baseball field. There are a lot of fields near the place where I live because I live in the countryside. Let's practice. Are there any fields near where you live? Are there any fields near where you live? Yes or no?
Yes.
There are some fields near where
Fields.
I live.
Field.
Very good. Next, repeat increase.
Increase.
Very good. Okay, listen. Increase is a verb which means to go up. For example, the number of teachers in this school last year was about 500. This year it becomes 800. So the number of teachers in this school is increasing, going up in numbers. Let's practice. Is the number of people in your town always increasing? Is the number of people in your town always increasing? Yes or no? The
Yes.
number of people in my town
People.
is always
Town.
increasing.
Increasing.
Very good. Next, repeat battle.
Battle.
War. Very,
War.
very good. Okay, listen. Battle and war are nouns. For example, there were battles between America and Japan. There were battles between Germany and England. There were many battles during the Second World War. So it means there were many battles in a war. So battles are like small fightings, and then a big war is within. Let's practice. Are there a lot of battles in a war? Are there a lot of battles in a war? Yes, there are
Yes.
a lot of
Are.
battles in a war.
But in the wall.
Were there a lot of battles in Europe during the Second World War? Were there a lot of battles in Europe during the Second World War? Yes, there were a
Yes.
lot of
The wall.
battles in Europe
But in
during the
Europe.
Second World War.
The wall.
Very good. Next, repeat. Over.
Over.
Contact.
Contact.
Object.
Object.
Very good. Okay, listen. We say the word over or we use over when there is no contact between the two objects. There's no, for example, my right hand is over the pen because there's no contact over the pen. My left hand is over the book. Okay. Next, when there is contact, so if they touch each other between the two objects, we say over when the object covers the other one completely, and on when it does not cover completely. For example, my hand is over the pen, but when I contact it, I'm covering it completely. So my right hand is over the pen. Okay, now my left hand is over the book, but when I put it here, I'm not covering it completely. So my left hand is on the book. Okay, let's practice. Where's my left hand? Where's my left hand? Your left hand's over the book.
Hands. Book.
Where's my right hand? Where's my right hand? Your right hand's over the pen.
Hands. Pen.
Very good. Where's my left hand now? Where's my left hand now? Your left hand's on the book now.
Hands. Now.
Very good. Where's my right hand now? Where's my right hand now? Your right hand's over the pen now.
Hands. Now.
Very good. Why do we say my left hand is on the book but my right hand's over the pen? Why do we say my left hand's on the book but my right hand's over the pen? We say your left hand
We say
is on the book
left hand.
but your
The
right
book.
hand is
Your
over the
hand.
pen because
The pen.
your left hand
Because
is not
right hand
covering the book
is
completely,
cover the book completely.
whereas your right hand
Right
is covering the
hand
pen completely.
in the completely.
Very good. What's over our heads? What's over our heads? The ceilings over our
Feelings.
heads.
Yes.
What's over your building? What's over your building? The skies over my building.
Eyes. building.
Very good. What am I doing? What am I doing? You're putting your right hand over the
Hand
pen.
on the pen.
Very good. What am I doing? What am I doing? You're putting your left hand over your
Left
mouth.
hand, your mouth.
Very good. Next, repeat idea.
Idea.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word idea. A meaning of the word idea is, for example, I think it's a good idea to study a lot if you want to learn a language well. I don't think it's a bad idea to go to France if I want to learn French well. I think it's a good idea. Okay, let's practice. Do you think it's a bad idea to go to England if you want to learn English well? Do you think it's a bad idea to go to England if you want to learn English well? No, I don't think
No,
it's a
I
bad
think
idea to go to
here,
England if I want
England.
to learn English well.
Learn
I think
swear.
it's a good idea.
I idea.
Wait, do you think it's a good idea to learn some English before going to England? Do you think it's a good idea to learn some English before going to England? Yes, I think
Yes,
it's a
I
good
think
idea to learn some
here
English before going to
English.
England.
Go to England.
Very good. Okay, so now let's move on to reading. Okay,
Okay.
so our reading is also at stage 3, paragraph page 129. The last headword was the most expensive. Okay, please start at page 130. Headword syllable, comparative, superlative.